The crisis on just about everyone's mind, inflation and these record high gas prices. It looks like things may get even worse before they get better. U.S. Treasury Secretary is now calling on Congress to take action. ABC's Andrew Dimber takes a look.
This morning, Americans are spending $700 million more on gas every day than they were at this time last year.
We now have 14 different states where the average has already surpassed that $5 a gallon mark, and seeing some tremendous increases.
In just the last week, the average price for gas in Michigan jumping 51 cents. In Indiana, up 48 cents. In Ohio, 46 cents. There's no relief in sight due to soaring demand overseas and supply concerns due in part to the war in Ukraine. And now, hurricane season could send prices surging even higher.
This overall era of high prices could stick around for several years. Keep in mind, if a hurricane hits refineries or oil production, it could take months for supply to get back to normal.
Airfares are also climbing due to higher fuel costs. The average cost of a domestic round trip is now $410 compared to $283 last June.
We now are entering a period of transition.
On Capitol Hill Tuesday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen called the inflation we're seeing unacceptable. She urged Congress to provide more affordable housing and bring down prescription drug prices. And she pushed back against those who blame the Biden administration's spending policies, including pandemic stimulus checks, for fueling today's inflation.
In designing a policy, there are various risks that need to be taken into account. Of course, inflation was one of them, but the overwhelming risk was that Americans would be scarred by a deep and long recession.
And back to gas prices, we're fast approaching a national average of just about $5 per gallon. Analysts say that milestone will likely prompt more families to take a closer look at their spending habits. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Looking now at those gas prices here in California, where the cost of fuel is breaking record after record. In fact, the state's trend of leading the nation in high prices has been consistent since May 11th. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of gas hit a record $4.82 this week. But here in California, it's over $6.37 per gallon. Greg Upton is a researcher at Louisiana State University's Center for Energy. He's studying the impact of the skyrocketing prices, and he says there might be good news coming, but it won't be anytime soon.
What drivers want to know is, when could we start to see some relief?
So the relative good news right now is markets are in what we call backwardation. So that's a fancy term. That means that prices are anticipated to go down in the future.
Upton says the national average could fall to the mid $3 range by next March. Now, taking a look at some of the local gas stations that won't hit your wallet too deep. According to Gas Buddy, the fast strip in Wasco off Paso Robles Highway and the fast strip in Bakersfield off Bernard Street are both at $5.71 for regular fuel. The Rosie's liquor store in Delano is around $5.73 for regular. And back in Bakersfield, the gas for less off Bear Mountain Boulevard is still sitting at $5.77.